Let's get into it here, Albert. What happened with the Colts and Wentz? I mean, Week 15, Saturday Night Football. They crushed it against New England, which had a furious comeback, fall short. But Indianapolis looked like what the Niners looked like at the end of the season and into the playoffs. The proverbial team nobody wanted to face. And now it's just like, Wentz, you can't even say fell out of favor. There was no favor. There was nothing.
Right? Well, I think there are two pieces to this, Rich. And, I think Frank Reich is sort of a neutral party here because he does have the close relationship with Wentz. I think the key figures are Chris Ballard and Jim Irsay. I think from Ballard's standpoint, it wasn't so much about the way Carson played over the course of 17 games because, it wasn't great, but, I think you could kind of justify some of it. And, a lot of the stuff the Colts said before the year, which was, if we're really good around him, he'll be fine, came true. Now, at the end of the year, when they had to put a lot on his shoulders, he wound up falling short. But I think they were sort of prepared for that, right? When Jonathan Taylor was making his MVP run, Wentz was, again, not great, but he was fine. I think for Ballard, this was more about the guy you want leading your room, right? And kind of whether or not that guy, you can envision him being like the battleship commander for your organization going forward. And I think Chris Ballard discovered a lot of the stuff that the Eagles knew when they traded him to Indy, which was he's not really that guy, and he doesn't relate great with teammates. And when things aren't good, is he accountable? Can we count on him when things are really tough, when we got to put the team on his shoulders? How is he, beyond just how he plays, how is he going to react to that emotionally? And so I think that the makeup part of it was what Ballard had misgivings on. Now, with Irsay, I think this is more about a sense of urgency with the core that they've built. And you look at it, they've done a really nice job over the last 5 years putting something around whoever the quarterback's going to be. And remember, this is all meant for Andrew Luck, right? But Quentin Nelson, Darius Leonard, Julian Blackmon, who will come back off of injury, Jonathan Taylor, Michael Pittman. We're talking about, guys who are, kind of in the wheelhouse now. This core, this should be when this group is winning, and I think that is part of Irsay's frustration now is 3 years after, or 2.5 years after Andrew Luck retired, the rest of the team is coming of age as they'd really wanted it to. And yet the quarterback position is still a mess. And I think the owner sort of looked at it as what we've got isn't good enough. And I think it's fair to look at it that way. So to me, as much as anything else, this was about the makeup of the player, the makeup of Carson Wentz, and whether or not that was what they wanted to build around. And then B, the sense of urgency they really have to have with the core group that they've built over the last 5 years.
So if the Colts learned this the hard way, if you will, and the Eagles learned it the hard way, then why are the Washington Commanders, after saying they're going to, they're going to go YOLO and knock on everybody's door, why do they go in this direction? Why do they do
because
this?
They're out of answers. Look, realistically, so they made a real pitch. Russell Wilson. They offered 3 first-round picks there. They would have taken a swing at Aaron Rodgers if Aaron Rodgers had ever become available. And then the third quarterback that's a big name here, Deshaun Watson. They like him, but I think for obvious reasons, this was sort of going to be a non-starter for them because of everything that their organization has gone through over the last 2 years. And the workplace stuff and everything else, unless there was full and complete settlement of all of the legal stuff, not just the criminal part, all of the legal stuff, Watson was going to be a non-starter for them. So that left them on the second tier. And I think with any of the quarterbacks, whether it was Garoppolo, Wentz, whoever else, I think the way that they looked at it was, if we do that, it's probably going to be multiple swings. And so I think the way you want to look at Wentz now is, do they think they can get a little more out of him? Yeah, because Wentz has always been a really good downfield thrower. Has he ever had a guy quite like Terry McLaurin? Maybe not. Maybe there's something there. At the very least, they're bringing in a guy who started a lot of games, who's seen a lot of things, and I don't think they're done at quarterback. My guess would be they'll look very, very hard at the idea of drafting one in the first round. Now, I think what you can say, because of the money is they're probably not going to take a swing on another veteran quarterback. But I think the idea they could take one in the first round of the draft is very much still alive.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.